Gardens are fertile places, and so are classrooms. Teachers have skilled hands to nurture the inherent talents of their students so that they can thrive and grow. Let's hear it for that. Because that's cheering for you, and you deserve to be cheered for. Our next guest is from the Calgary Public Teachers Local 38. Cecil Hall teaches CTS and Business Studies at Nelson Mandela High School. His entry into the field of education was inspired by his grade 10 high school biology teacher. He's got a Bachelor of Science from Prairie View University, Texas, an MBA from Queens, and received his M.Ed from Brock University. Let's give it up for Cecil Hall.
Lord have mercy, look on people look on me. Lord, hey, how you doing? I looked up a while ago and I saw the sun was coming out. It must be the island thing. Ay, ay, ay. Ladies and gentlemen, in my day, to attend high school in Jamaica, we were required to sit what we call the common entrance exam. Depending on your score, you could be awarded a full scholarship or a half scholarship. Well, my dad was a basic carpenter. My mom was what I'd refer to her as a lifelong domestic helper. You know, they have a son going to school, all of a sudden, him get a half scholarship, and having a half scholarship, they have to pay the extra, right? How were they going to do this? And let me tell you what happened. All of a sudden, the government of Jamaica said, as of now, we will be paying for students to go to high school, from grade 1 to grade 13. Lord of mercy, my family just jump up and we're like, yeah, right? Because here's what happened. I was going to go to high school for free. Yes, I was going to be given public education for free. Well, I got into the school and I was doing all right. And then in our case, in grade 10, I met this teacher. His name is Mr. Roberts. Now, to tell you a little about Mr. Roberts. I thought that Mr. Roberts was the coolest teacher ever. I wanted so much to be like him. I wanted to be caring, as he was, smart, as he was, funny, as he was, and to speak with a baritone voice he had. In a career assembly in grade 10, for grade 10 and 11s, one of the representatives who were supposed to come and talk to us didn't show. So Mr. Roberts was responsible for emceeing the program. Mr. Roberts had time on his hand and he didn't know what to do. So you know what he said? He said, is there anybody here who would like to come and talk about what they want to do after high school? I'm sitting there looking and I said, let me go on. I'm up to that man. I said, come up, Cecil, come up, come up, come up. So I had a chance to go up and I was talking. So here's what's going on now. I got up and I said, I want to be a teacher. And everybody looked at me. And then I explained why. And then as I was walking down the stage, I heard Mr. Roberts say, from what I've seen you do in my class, Cecil, I am convinced you will be a very good teacher. Well, let me tell you what happened. I became a teacher. Now, I then moved, after moving all over the place, I moved to Calgary. And I started working with the CBE, the CBE, yeah, right? And when I started working, I was fortunate to work at one of those schools that was one of the most racially diverse schools in the city. Now, the thing is, I served there for 7 years, but after a while, I got a chance to move to another school, Nelson Mandela, in the Northeast Calgary. In these schools, typically when you go there, you're either one or two, maybe there may be two other people that look like you. And you know what was interesting? In some instances, I was the only black male in the school. Here's the interesting thing though. I had the opportunity to talk about the challenges faced by racialized people in the community. I even helped to work through the myth of the lazy black man. Sometimes students would share some of their own experiences too, like walking in the store and noticing that everywhere in the store they go, there's somebody fixing merchandise. Or, you know, the power they feel just when they're coming out of a store, hoping that the magnetic tags were demagnetized or deactivated because of what might have happened. One story I shared was, while I was walking in a store, walking to a store in the mall, I came up on a woman who was sauntering, walking about her business. She must have heard my footsteps because she glanced behind her and she looked with great horror when she saw me. Then she just grabbed, touched her purse and put it tight under her arm. I was surprised and so badly wanted to ask her if she thought I was going to rob her. I breathed, I held my composure, and I continued to my car. I just could not allow her to live rent-free in my mind. In sharing this incident with my students, I became acutely aware of the scenarios like these that were part of their lived experience. And I discovered that modeling appropriate responses in situations like this is often difficult, but this is what we do as teachers. One day in a conversation with one of our assistant principals, it was mentioned that a student, let's call her Fatima, had decided to go into teaching, and she indicated that I was her inspiration. I felt honored and had a great sense of gratitude that this had happened. But I had one problem. I could not recall who Fatima was. And then I did my investigation, and when I investigated, I found out that Fatima was one of my, what I call hall kids. You know, those students that you don't teach, but you see them by the hall and all that. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, this young lady is going to become a teacher because of what I was doing. And then I'm thinking, maybe I have become like Mr. Roberts. I guess if students can't see it, they can't be it. And that's a big thing for us. So as teachers, we see the potential of our students each day as we go into our schools. We continue to work hard to unearth the gems that are there before us. This public education, this is what I consider as public education superpower. And as a product of the public education system, I believe with all my heart as we stand here today that public education is necessary. It's not an option, it's a necessity. So let us continue doing this. But I would like to finish by quoting a philosopher, Jamaican philosopher called Bob Marley. Bob Marley has one of his songs, and I've done take a little thing here. It says, one love, one heart. Let's stand up and feel the vibes. One love, one heart. Let's stand up for public education. One love, one heart. Let's stand together and feel the vibes. One love, one heart. Let's stand up for public education. Let's stand up for public education.
Thank you so much, Cecil and Melafreak. Thank you so much. It's pretty cool to have your own soundtrack up here.